So, you're thinking about selling your home in Knoxville during the fall or winter. Well, you're in a fantastic position. The whole city is practically glowing, and that gives you a huge advantage. We're going to break down the exact playbook to turn all that holiday magic into the best possible offer for your home. I mean, think about it. The city is already doing half the work for you, right? It's sparkling with all this festive cheer. The real challenge, and honestly, the biggest opportunity, is figuring out how to capture that magic from the outside and bring it right inside your home. That's how you'll connect with buyers.
So let's really dive into this opportunity. Buyers aren't just looking at houses in a bad mood. No, they're already feeling great. They might be coming from the regal celebration of lights, or maybe they just walked the peppermint trail. The point is, your home isn't just a property they're seeing, it's part of this amazing festive day they're having. And that's the whole game right there. Your staging has to match the energy they're already feeling. You want them to walk through your front door and feel like it's the perfect, cozy next stop on their festive journey, not like some boring interruption. Okay, so how do we actually do this? It's not as complicated as it sounds. It all comes down to three core ideas, three pillars. If you can master these, you've pretty much mastered your staging for the season. First up is pillar number one, and honestly, it's probably the most important for this time of year. Mastering light. The days are getting shorter, it's dark earlier, so your home's lighting becomes the absolute star of the show. The goal is to create this warm, cozy refuge that feels upscale and just incredibly inviting from the second they walk in.
And here's the nuts and bolts of how you do it. First, and this is non-negotiable, swap out any of those cool bluish bulbs for warm LEDs. You're looking for that 2700 to 3000 Kelvin range. Then, you layer your lighting. Don't just rely on that one light in the ceiling. Add floor lamps, add table lamps, create little pools of warm light. And finally, use sheer curtains to soften the daylight and perfectly frame those city views. And this is so important. Just look at the difference here. That warm 2700K light, it's like a welcoming hug. It makes people want to stay a while. But that cooler light, it can feel sterile, almost like an office or a hospital. It's the exact opposite emotion you want someone to feel when they're thinking about buying your home. All right, let's move on to our second pillar, maximizing space. This is absolutely crucial in downtown Knoxville with all the amazing condos and lofts. Every single square foot has to feel like it has a purpose. You're trying to create this feeling of spaciousness and prove that this home works just as well for a quiet weeknight as it does for weekend fun. And you don't need to knock down any walls to do it. These are some of my favorite little tricks. Using furniture with legs you can see under, it lets your eye travel farther and makes the room feel bigger. Pulling your sofa even just a few inches off the wall makes the whole room feel wider. A rug is perfect for defining a living space. And a mirror opposite a window, that's a classic for a reason. It literally doubles your light and your view. Oh, and a skinny table by the door as a drop zone for keys, it just screams organized. Now for our third and a final pillar. And this is where the real magic happens. This is about selling a lifestyle. We're moving way beyond just decorating here. You're creating these little curated moments, we call them vignettes, that tell a story and let buyers mentally move in and see themselves living there. I mean, this quote just nails it. This isn't just a bench with a blanket on it. No, it's a story. It's the story of coming home, kicking off your shoes, and sipping hot cocoa after a fun night out. You're not selling a bench. You're selling the feeling of living in that exact spot. And that is what gets people to write an offer. So, what's the recipe for this lifestyle vibe? You want a polished, neutral palette that just looks amazing in photos. Think soft cream on the walls, maybe some slate or charcoal accents with warm woods. Then you bring in textures that people just want to reach out and touch. A cozy knit throw, some velvet pillows, and a really subtle scent like cedar or a single cinnamon stick can engage one more sense and make the whole experience unforgettable. Okay, so we've got our big three: light, space, and lifestyle. But, and this is a big but, you can't just apply them the same way everywhere. How you use them really depends on your specific property. Let's look at a few examples you'll see around Knoxville. Take a downtown brick loft, for instance. You don't cover up that beautiful brick, you celebrate it. Clean it up and use some modern matte black frames to make it feel fresh and cool. In a high-rise condo, the view is your $1,000,000 feature. So face the furniture towards the windows, not the TV. And if you've got a townhome near the waterfront greenway, show people you've solved the active lifestyle problem with a little mudroom style setup right by the door. Each of these tactics plays up the home's best feature. But listen, you can do all this incredible staging work, but if your photos and showings aren't on point, it could all be for nothing. This is where your strategy really starts to pay off. You have got to get the timing right. Get your professional photos done before a single personal holiday decoration goes up. You want those photos to be evergreen, to look good in December and in March. Then, for the actual showings, you can add a tasteful, neutral wreath. And here's a great little touch for December. Leave out a printed schedule of local events. It helps them imagine their first holiday season right there in their new home. And if you remember only one thing about your photography, let it be this. That golden hour right before sunset, it is your secret weapon. It will bathe your home in this warm, magical light that looks absolutely irresistible online. Seriously, it's a total game changer. All right, let's switch gears and get inside the buyer's head for a minute. Because at the end of the day, buying a home is a deeply emotional decision that we just try to justify with financial logic. Your job is to make that emotional connection when they're most ready to fall in love with a place. And this chart really says it all. A buyer who's touring your home after being downtown at a festive event, well, their brain is running on emotion. We're talking 70% emotion. They're feeling good, they're inspired. Your staging needs to speak to that 70%, not the 30% that's worrying about spreadsheets and closing costs. So how do you appeal to that 70%? It's the little things. You want to create a sense of calm, that lock-in leaves simplicity that's so appealing. Swap out your personal family photos for some cool local art. It helps them picture the place as theirs. Keep your counters clear. A spotless, inviting balcony feels like a whole extra room, a private little escape. Okay, let's put this all together. Let's wrap this up into your final winning playbook for getting the best offer this season. Honestly, if you forget everything else, just remember these 3 words: light, space, and lifestyle. Every single decision you make about your staging should support one of those 3 pillars. It's that simple. So here it is, your 4-step plan to success. 1. You master the 3 pillars. 2. You tailor them specifically to your type of home. 3. You absolutely perfect your photos and your showings. And 4. You connect directly with the buyer's emotions. It's a strategy that takes your home from being just another listing online to being the one they just can't stop thinking about. So, at the end of the day, after all the prep is done, you just have to ask yourself one final, simple question. Because you're not just selling walls and floors, you're selling a story, and you need to make sure it's a story that a buyer can't wait to start living.